William, you met, correct me if I'm wrong, Jerry Cantrell in 2000.
That's right.
Can you describe that first meeting? What did you do?
Well, he came up to me at a club called the Dragonfly in Hollywood, and by that point, a mutual friend of ours had turned him on to my band Comes With the Fall's first album, and so he listened to it and was really affected by it, and so he came up to me and first he said, "Cool hair," and then he said, "Hey, I'm Jerry, I'm a big fan," you know, that kind of thing. And
what did he like about your music? Did he tell you?
You know, I don't know if we ever got into that specifically, like that kind of. We never put too fine a point on it, but I think he just liked the honesty of it. He liked the way we were all living together, kind of. We were all staying together at the time in this one apartment. There was 4 guys living on top of each other, and there was kind of an all for one, one for all mentality that was going on amongst us. I think he probably saw reflections of his past in it, you know. The music we were making was really intense. The kind of music you make when you feel your whole existence is on the line, that kind of thing. So I think he saw that honesty and that hand-to-mouth existence and just like, God, this is cool, you know. And we were playing everywhere we could at that point in Hollywood, so we were playing relatively a lot of gigs for that city, you know, for being a completely unknown band. We would go anywhere and just try to drop a bomb on people, and we had a serious attitude. We just come from Atlanta, like, you know, we were going to show these people what the hell was really up, you know. And I think he liked that too. And you know, we cut through a lot of the phoniness of that town, you know. And so every chance that he got, he would jump on stage with us, man. He like learned our songs off our record and stuff, and I would ask him to show me something like, you know, Sick Man or something like that, and then he'd ask me about one of our tunes, and he would get up on stage and play them with us. He even played bass for us one time when our bass player got locked up in Atlanta, but that's a long story. But basically just a friendship got forged, you know, in around that time.
Do you like the music of Comes With the Fall?
Huh?
Do you like the music of Comes With the Fall? Did you like it back then?
Yeah, I mean, when I met William, I got a couple of the records. It's good.
Yeah, he got turned onto it later.
Yeah. We met probably like when you were playing with
Jerry.
We
were on tour.
Yeah.
We were on tour with when we Comes With the Fall went on tour with Cantrell for his Degradation Trip album cycle. Really, before the album came out, we toured for a year before the album came out, and then toured for another year after the album came out. So that was around the time that we first met.
For the Tsunami concert. Why? Was there some urge to do it?
To help other people out, raise some money. It had nothing to do with us. I just called, you know, we're in constant contact. We always have been, and we're like brothers, you know, so they're the first guys I called to see if they wanted to help out, and they said, yeah. And we didn't really put any thought into it, you know. It was not like, let's get the band together. It was just showed up, and there was absolutely no thought behind it. And then once we got there, it was sort of like, whoa, this is pretty heavy, you know. But, you know, like I said, it wasn't about us, so that was helpful. And then after that, that kind of other things come up when you do that, you know. Ann and Nancy Wilson took part in it, and they're friends, and then they were being honored for their career by like a television show, and they asked if we'd play a couple songs on their show. That's when William came into the picture.
Yeah,
and
that's the first public thing I did with Dallas.
What was it like for you? What was it? Was it something that you thought, well, maybe, because you once said that you would like to record again, but maybe not under the name of Alice in Chains? What changed that you ultimately decided to continue the band?
It just naturally led to that.
Yeah?
You know, I mean, a year and a half ago, or not even that long ago, we weren't even talking about making a record. I mean, it's all been little steps that we've been taking, and they just naturally, organically have kind of led us to these things. And as long as it felt good and we were all behind it, and it was for the right reasons, we moved forward, you know. And at that time, when I said that, that was You know, when I think Rolling Stone or somebody asked me about the tsunami thing, like, are you getting the band back together? I said, no, you know. But, you know, I back it 1,000%, you know. It's not some false thing, you know, we're doing this for real.
Right.
You know, it's not some one-off trick, you know, we're
Yeah.
all into it all the way, and
It wouldn't work any other way.
But is it hard for you because well there's obviously there's a lot of attention now because well Layne Staley that and you have to
Right.
you replace him. Is it hard for you? Is it hard or is it comes naturally now?
Well, you know, sure it presents challenges for me, of course, you know, a lot of scrutiny and all that. But, you know, I mean, it's challenging for all of us. You know, we all have our own challenges to face with regard to this situation and to moving forward. But we look at it as kind of analogous to the same challenges that everybody in the world has to face when they suffer a loss or when things go a bit off the rails, you know, and they have to figure out how to get their life back together and move forward, and maybe move forward a little wiser and maybe even a little better than they were before. So in that respect, you know, I don't get all caught up in how unique it is, you know, my weird position that I'm in, because that sort of tips it over into something that puts too much, it just puts too much importance on it, too much weight on it, you know. I mean, this is a rock band, and it's a really good one, and the music has meant a lot to a lot of people, and so of course, you know, I'm gonna try to live up to my own standard of excellence no matter what I'm doing, you know. And so when I was asked to do this back in 2006, it's like, well, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna come into it as hard and heavy as I possibly can, because that's just what you do, you know. And then as we moved on and toured, and you know, new ideas started happening naturally because instruments are laying around, and you know, we're all together all the time. Then at some point when a decision was made to try recording, you know, again, you know, we're going to dive into that with everything we have, including myself, you know, and it's, we're going to be our own worst critics always. I certainly am. I'm harder on myself than anyone could possibly be on me, you know. So, you know, I mean, I dig what you're saying, but I mean, you know, Layne Staley will never be replaced in the sense that most people mean it. He was fantastic, and he was his own person, and now he's not here anymore. And so the only thing I can do is what comes naturally to me, be myself, and come into this band, you know, and you know, I certainly am gonna pay respect to the old songs, the melodic structure of the old songs. I love those songs, but I'm also going to invest in with my own experience.
yeah, we were just
drug habits, maybe.
yeah, and just everything, you know. We were all on the same page, you know, about where we were at in life, and then it kind of started spinning out of control a little bit.
Can you pinpoint? Was it at the end of that album or the tour that
It was pretty much during that record. It was full on, and it kind of stayed that way, you know. We lived a pretty hard life.
Until when, can you say? For you, maybe?
Well, Layne's life ended from it, so, and me, probably a few years ago, you know.
A few years ago, so even after he died.
Yeah. Yep.
Getting a bit morbid, aren't we?
Yeah, yeah, but you know, it was...
But you look good.
Well, it was like taking this, to do this, for me, I couldn't be toxic, you know? It wouldn't make sense. Half the reason I'm doing it is to take his legacy and what we created together forward and move forward with this band and with William, and to move on in life. You know, we've all grown, and so that's important to me. So I had to make a choice, you know? And
when did you make this choice? Can you say? Is there
few years back.
So one thing that happened, maybe that you said, well, now I have to get my act together. Is it?
Well, I mean, it's not like it was a train wreck. It's just, to me, it made I didn't want to be out here and be disingenuine and be false and, you know, be out here bringing our legacy and Layne's legacy forward and being fucked up, you know. Doesn't do anybody any good, doesn't do me any good, and I wouldn't be happy with myself doing that, so I made a choice. What's more important? Music's more important. Same thing that saved us when, you know, started the band. I was a homeless guy, you know. You know, I had nowhere to live, and so music kind of saved, you know, became my life, saved my life to that point, and then I guess in some way it did again, you know.
Can you say, maybe is it, I don't know if you want to answer this question, but do you have an idea on how come it didn't save Layne Staley then? Can you tell? Is it?
No. Nope.
Okay. Same question for you. What is your favorite Alice in Chains album of the 90s?
I like them all, man.
Yeah?
I mean, I don't have favorites. I don't have a lot of favorites of anything. I don't really have like favorite color, favorite food, you know. There's things I like for a while, but I you know, I like them all. They were all like real big parts of our lives, you know. Each one of those records kind of defined where we were at.
As does this new one.
As
New possibilities in the face of the bad things that happen to us all, you know. We're all losing somebody, man, at some point.
Pretty much like we always have, you know. We try to make a complete album.
Right.
This album there was a lot to talk about.
Right.
For 14 years, we never said anything.
That's right.
And so there's a lot's happened individually and collectively in 14 years. So to me, that record, if you paid, you know, it touches on a lot of those things, and it's probably better than any bio you could read.
About their journey before deciding to continue the band. It's also about our journey since we decided to continue the band. That whole process is in the record, and Black Gives Way to Blue, the song, kind of just, you know, like I said, it just seems to sum it up, you know, in a nice way, and it crystallizes so much about what the record is. Way of life, you're saying goodbye to people that you love. In that case, that song specifically was written for Layne, but you know, again, the feelings are going to be universal, as with any good piece of music.
Well, the next album will be before 2023.
I can't guarantee that. We might stick with the formula every 14 years. Come out with our walkers.